pay attention now. 2 lives left. Here we go. Time to step it up. You have 1 life remaining. You are out of lives.
Picture me putting my city all over the map. They wasn't believers, I had to get even and mad. We coming up, pulling up, jumping all over your grass. So tell them I got a new girl. Tell them that I'm the bank and I want all my 50s in cash. I'm tired of living check to check. I need 20 models and smiling in my grave, fresh to death. I've been Wu-Tang with a spectre deck. Yeah, I gotta just get off my chest. I cannot miss, I got last on my list and you next. Take it how you want it. I ain't famous like I want it, but I think I might just skirt off. Blow the speakers and turn up. Pop up. Go to church with my shirt off. Tell the Lord that I'm here now. I've been waiting for so long. I've been patient for so long. Breaking rules like there's no laws, and I did it for a long time. If you don't like me, take a ticket. There's a long line. Nice to meet me. I think the pleasure's all mine. They've been clocking me so long, I think they lost time. Ooh, you lost. What you mean? Woo! What you mean? Woo! And now I'm just a so what you mean? Woo! Hold up, whoa, what you mean? Woo! Hold up now. Don't know what you think it compare me to. Adrenaline popping, the blood'll be leaking and running. Yeah. I do what I do, I don't care if you like it or love it. Tell all of my I got a new girl. Wait. You tell the that I'm the bank and I want all my money in hundreds. I'm tired of living on the edge. I want it, they gon' call the feds. I just bought a...
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley.
From a city that's played host to 10 Super Bowls, here's a look inside the Mercedes-Benz Superdome in New Orleans. Tonight, it's a preseason matchup here in Week 3 between the Houston Texans and the New Orleans Saints. Here's the punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. And we are underway from the Superdome. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. The former national champion at Clemson bringing him onto the field, and that's the signal caller, Deshaun Watson.
Tremendous overall athlete, does everything that you're looking for. Big time in the quarterback run game against their better opponents, but can also operate skillfully from the pocket and can beat you with his mind as well.
Caught left side high. A gain of 32 that time. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So step off the 5 yards.
Yeah, partner, you know, defensive end, he wants to get into the offensive backfield. He wants that get off to be as fast as possible. A little too quick on that one.
Here we go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the sack parade continues. Remember last week, they had an astounding 8 sacks, another one there on the opening drive.
And they have the mentality of just attacking the quarterback in the pocket, no matter what. They're one of those teams that says, we play the run on our way back to the quarterback, and that philosophy works for them very well.
He's got it complete to Braxton Miller. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Underneath for Miller. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
I think the training and practice broke down on that play because he simply didn't run the route deep enough to get to the first down marker, despite what was a really nice catch and turn tap on the sideline.
Well, that's 3rd down 101. You got to go to the marker, know where it is.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll at least get him inside the red zone here, down to about the 19. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. They're ready now for 2nd and 9. Watson going to give this one to Miller. And he'll get this down only to the 18. Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. And here now, New Orleans defensive unit.
Let's talk a little bit about safety Kenny Vaccaro. You can use him like the ultimate chess piece. Drop him in the box as a safety, turn him into a linebacker. Drop him back into coverage. He can play zone and also match up man-to-man against slot receivers.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. On is Nick Novak now for the Texans field goal. From the right hash, this from 44 yards out. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and it's now 3-0 Texans. So not exactly jubilation over on that visiting sideline, but at least a high 5 or 2 for their kicker as he gets them the first points of the night here on the opening drive.
And 3 points are not to be underestimated. You're on the road, under the lights, national TV audience. You want to come out and look good, and that's a good start right there.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Breeze now on first down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that's caught inside the 35. A big-time play there for New Orleans. And even 40 yards.
It's bad enough watching all the highlight reels, watching guys in warm-ups, going up and making these incredible one-handed acrobatic catches. But when it happens right in front of you, when you're defending him, that just makes your day that much longer, and you just wonder, how are we ever going to cover these guys?
Now Breeze. It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he is knocked down from the side at the 9-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you, from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season-open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I'd missed him, it would have been a
different story.
Long night.
And that's incomplete. And a look now at the defense for Houston.
After a while, when you talk about J.J. Watt, you tend to run out of superlatives because he's just about done everything that a player can do in the league. NFL Defensive Player of the Year 3 times. Leads his team each and every game that he plays in. But the best part about him to me, besides the absolute physical talent, is that he elevates everyone else's game. He plays so well, plays so hard, that if you don't try to reach that and match that around him, it becomes obvious. So I think he elevates his team in that way.
And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays and kind of let their athletic ability take over.
So that's one you almost never see at this level. A wobbler from very short range, and it winds up no good.
All right, Brandon, if he slipped or someone got a hand on it, then I could understand it, but it's almost like he heard a whistle or something to stop this swing. A very strange result, especially for an NFL kicker.
He's going to look deep down the field. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect.
Well, partner, I guess that answers the question about whether they're going to sit on it or not.
It does. Now we'll see if they try that again.
Yeah, I think what we find on plays like that, when you take that shot, if you're unsuccessful, then you go way more conservative to finish the half, you know? I think that's the way they'll go.
Here we go.
Off of play action, it's Watson. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Sheldon Rankins forcing his way through there to drop him for a loss of a good 10 yards.
Partner, I know the ball security is preached like crazy, but every now and then you've got to know when to get rid of the football and save a little bit of yardage if you're a quarterback.
Because now if you're the offensive coordinator with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's Texans football as we get going in quarter number 2. They do, however, have a tough 3rd and long coming up. Out of the gun, Watson. And this is going to be incomplete.
And absolutely zero surprise that that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
No, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. Leckler now on as he'll punt this away. Here's Ginn. Dancing away at the 30.
Oh, that's sweet.
What an effort. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And the Saints will have a short field in front of them. They take over here, 1st and 10. A reminder, opening weekend definitely in sight. Thursday, September 7th is when it all begins. The top 2 seeds in the AFC playoffs last year, Kansas City at New England, will be there at Foxborough. And then some great matchups on Sunday the 10th as well.
And 2 more on Monday night, Saints-Vikings, Chargers-Broncos.
It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. They've made goal line offense a priority on the practice field this week. This is exactly the situation they've been prepping for. Oh, and it's incomplete. That would have been big in the end zone if he could have held on. Instead, it's second down.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Left side and caught by Flainer. That catch good for 8, but still, it's 3rd and goal now.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Breeze now on 3rd and goal. Looking for Thomas. He's got him. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas there to make the grab. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Coming into the year, Breeze, 465 touchdown passes. Add another one to the total.
You know, it's funny. I just talked with his college head coach, and he told me that when Drew was a sophomore at Purdue, they weren't sure he was truly the starter, even though he started the opening game. And he made a play early in that one where the coach got on the headset and told the rest of the staff, well, fellas, we found our quarterback. Now we got to make sure we find the rest of our team.
Breeze hasn't looked back since. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. The Saints defense getting ready here, heading back onto the field. Their stay on the field last time was short-lived with a 3 and out. See if they can get some more of that.
And ordinarily, you want to be on the field playing, right? But 3 and outs, that's almost gold to a defense. Get to the bench, get some rest, turn the ball over to your offense.
We'll see what they can do here, see if they can force another 3 and out.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach and incomplete.
Here we go.
Now a play fake, and it's Watson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Hopkins. A good pick up there of 20 yards. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Past the 20, and he gets this one all the way down inside the 15, just shy of the 10. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. Second down, here's Watson. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Sheldon Rankins in there to get him for his second sack of the night.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley in our EA Sports Halftime Report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
Personal foul. Roughing the kicker. Defense.
So they will accept the penalty and move forward. From the gun, here's Watson. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Lamar Miller. from 6 yards away. And the Texans are in for 6. Well, we heard it, how heavily they stressed effective goal line offense this week in practice. Pays off there, they punch it in.
Now not only have we heard it, we saw it. All that preparation, and what it means is going back and examining what's been going wrong before. How can you correct it? Maybe it's even changes of personnel, but it paid off in this situation.
On the return, it's Ted Ginn Jr. Pretty move. A second time. And now running right through him. Then he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. On first down, Breeze. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down. The target that time, Michael Thomas. And that'll bring up second down. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
A good pickup. They get 8, but it's third down now. Breeze looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys.
And now the up man has it. It's a fake. Around the NFL, an update from a game going on down in... And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, New Orleans. John Kuhn, 54 yards. And the Saints are able to cash in for 6. Well, that one's hard to believe. Not something you see every day. A very long run for the big guy.
Normally we see his counterpart, right? The scat back, the guy with the so-called speed. But we saw a little bit of everything there, didn't we? The big, powerful man with the football. He can also stretch it out a little bit in the open field.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. It's a very short kick taken by an up man. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. There have been points on the board. We just saw back-to-back touchdown drives. I love it. I'm high-fiving our statistician, Christian McLeod, and you're angry. You're a defensive guy.
If you met one of my defensive coordinators, God rest his soul, I'm surprised he isn't in this booth right now wanting to really take you on. This is not football the way he sees it. He wants a good old-fashioned kicking game, defense, field position, and we're getting an up and down the field game here.
I'll take him. Where's his tombstone?
Boot Hill, baby.
And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. If you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
And that will be incomplete as well. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
Well, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to stay with it.
That's true. Here's Shane Leckler now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Now it's Ginn. Uses the spin. Oh, now he bowls him over. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10. Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd-and-1 situation. So we've reached halftime here. Don't worry, Larry. If this were a regular season game, people would be thrilled to watch your halftime highlight show. But instead, in week 3 of the preseason, we need to get to the 3rd quarter. This is taken at the 3. Oh, look at the juke. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the 3rd quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had an ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one. Hit them with something else.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. First down, here's a run with Peterson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Breeze finding Snead there for a Saint first down. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Peterson alone in the backfield. Breeze now. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Kobe Flater, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Saints add on to their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't...
Oh, look at this. A flip to the kicker. He's going to try to run for it. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Watson throwing the out route incomplete. That's Hopkins. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. Well, sometimes a tough game to figure out. One play he looks so good, and then the next play so bad, going backwards.
Yeah, in a span of 2 plays, you go from hero to GOAT, right, to use one of the cliches. But I think what often happens is you have a big run, and sometimes you try to do too much with your next one.
The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Dumps it complete to Miller. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Texans have cut it to within a score.
That is today's NFL, isn't it? If you're going to be a running back in this league, you've got to be complete to stay on the field, at least for those 3 downs we talk about. Got to be able to catch it, which he's doing quite well in this one. 2 touchdowns already.
Yeah, a little unconventional. He hasn't been able to cross the goal line as a runner, but as you say, twice as a receiver. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 6. Ooh, with a juke. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Drew Brees getting ready to go again on offense. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the 3rd quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your court? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college,
a breakaway from Michael Thomas. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas ready for the regular season with his 2nd touchdown of the game. And the Saints now add 6 to their lead. Lutz will look to add the extra point. Here's Daniel. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And that That's something you almost never see nowadays. When you fake it, you're at the 15-yard line on a PAT as opposed to just going for it from the 2.
I'm sorry. I know they got it, and congratulations to them, but it's just not a good play. I mean, the risk-reward is really off the charts. Not in your favor. Run your offense out there. Put it on the 2-yard line if you want to go for 2. But I'll be darned. They ended up getting that one, didn't they?
And we focus on Lamar Miller as he heads back out there and gets set to go again on offense. He's toppled the century mark already receiving the football, closing in on that on the ground, too. They've really had trouble handling him.
I think from what we've seen in this game, his success through the air has started to open things up for him on the ground because now he's loosened up the defense, right? They've got to play just about every snap as if another receiver can get downfield on them, and he's been that receiver. Now they bring him back to the backfield. I think his yardage running the ball will increase as this one goes on.
Well, they might need to devote some extra attention to him, something just to stop the momentum he has. To throw is Watson. Under pressure now, Watson, and down he goes.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. Five sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when...
We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now here live in New Orleans. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the fourth quarter. The Texans on third down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 17. Now the backup Savage. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he's into the end zone. A fumble return and a Saint touchdown. The offense, they've had some sloppy moments. Sloppy there again on that one, and it could be the backbreaker.
From a defensive perspective, if the offense is going to be sloppy, you've got to take advantage of that. And that's what they've done all game long.
Elsewhere, a third quarter score. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Lutz to try to add the PAT. Grayson now pushing through the contact. And a little floater there is incomplete. They've got this big lead. They said, forget one, we want two. Instead, they got 0.
Unbelievable they didn't even attempt it from the 15-yard line. What are they thinking? I do know this. When you fake one in this situation with that type of a lead, especially from the 15-yard line, oh, boy. I tell you what, meeting them again somewhere down the line, they'll remember this. Yeah, they'll think that they were trying to clown them a little bit.
Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical. There's so much precision in an offense, especially when you're throwing the ball. And in an out route, plenty of it. How about the quarterback hitting his back foot, ball's out of his hands, receiver making his break, making his cut. He's got to time up perfectly. Not always easy to do.
Just let him a little too much.
Yeah, I remember back in the good old days, I was talking to a quarterback, and he said everything they did was on the count system. So when he took the snap, he counted.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again. To the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Third and long. It's Savage. And that is incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Fourth down, desperation time for Savage. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Saints will have the football back. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on fourth. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
That one goes for 24 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he Gets it down to the 32.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
Ingram again, a first down carry. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On 2nd down, Ingram uses the stiff arm. And now running right through him. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys, they're just saying, let's just keep running it out, and we've got them now.
And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
A missed opportunity for an interception would have killed off a drive. They had a chance there to finish things off. Didn't get it done. I guess that's why a lot of those guys did not play offense.
So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. Oh, and now he bowls him over. Ingram's got the first down and more. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Mark Ingram from 17 yards out. And the Saints add on to their lead. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And the lead is now 24. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. First down, it's Savage. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Saints. And he will bring it back to about the 11-yard line.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, We're going to call timeout. Run the football. We got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
The Saints on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
And to me, that touchdown allows you to start grinning widely on your sideline. I think they pretty much locked this one away.
Yeah, that's the clincher, the proverbial icing on the cake, if you will. Lutz will look to add the extra point. And they're able to up the lead by 1 more. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it's Mark Ingram who caps it off with a touchdown run. Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And here comes the Texans now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because...
He rifles one that's intercepted. It's Marshawn Lattimore, the rookie from Ohio State. And he'll score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Defensively, they've had their way in this one. That pick 6 makes that scoreboard even more lopsided.
I remember talking with a guy in the league, and I said, what do you do when the game's like this? You know, it's pretty much over. You ready to go to the bench and hang out? He said, oh, heck no. I want to stay on the field. I might get some stats. I might get a pick or 2.
You like being out there at the end of these wide margins.
When they have to throw it, that gives you more opportunities to go get it.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the offense avoids disaster, keeps possession. Now it's 2nd down.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Out of the gun, Savage. And that's complete. It's Ellington. And they'll get him down here at the 23. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Texans on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is third down and 12.
Here we go. Blue line.
Now a run. This is Alfred Blue. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down.
One of the things I love about this game is there's a match of wits throughout the game. Who's going to get the advantage? Who's going to catch someone off guard? I feel like the offense thought they might catch the defense off balance with that play call, but unfortunately, that didn't work for them.
Green 39.
One last throw here for Savage. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. But they're going to wrap him up as he'll go down well short of a first. But, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
Choose yes to continue playing your team's season and control what happens next.
I stay myself, I never change. Yeah. Do whatever, get you paid. Yeah.
Cause, but I still low. Got 100 different to my cell phone. Still 33 for low. I'ma ride to my dog sitting in jail. He stay ladder on the grass, spinning back roll. I'm a killer, I'm a special, I'm a flat show. I make magic, I make polish, let them go. Then it's right back to the when I'm low. Bars never close and we wide open. Kicking flavor with me, neighbor, yeah, we local. Rap the bottom, cause the bottom where we come from. Me no pray for little paper, need a lump sum. Real spill, yeah, I'd rather be, yeah. Broke, real, little rich. Fall in love with her, she just wanna be in VIP with her. Don't blame me, oh, they just shake me. Had to get it, how I got it, on my own 2 feet. Don't blame me, I'm what the game made me, not what the fame made me. I won't let it change me, I'm the same man.
I stay myself, I never change. Yeah. Dirty started treat me like a stain. Yeah. Do whatever, get you paid. Yeah. Rolling from the cradle to the grave. Yeah.
On my hood, on my block, yeah. On my, I won't stop, yeah. Play with me, I'll let it, yeah. Halo on me, Saint Laurent, yeah. Got me with the school, yeah. Keep one, move, yeah. You my little baby boo, yeah. I love you like my favorite color blue, yeah. Real spill, yeah. I'd rather be, yeah. Broke, real, little rich. Fall in love with her. She just wanna be in VIP with her. Don't blame me, oh, they just shake me. Had to get it, how I got it. On my
Select the team you want to join. Don't worry, you'll be able to choose the role you plan in just a second.
fame made.
Start your season with recommended settings. If you wish to change roles or adjust options, use the tiles on the right. Your season starts now.